Happy Valentine's Day. This is Friday, February the 14th, 2014. And this is Strength for Today. And thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about He delighted in the pleasure. We've been talking about Christ's motivations for going to the cross. What made Him go to the cross? First of all, He felt the pain, and He'd given Himself for us. He visualized the potential, an offering and a sacrifice to God. He realized the predicament and had given Himself for us. He understood the position we were in. He had given Himself. He understood and could afford the price, an offering and sacrifice. Now, number 6, He delighted in the pleasure. He delighted in the pleasure. To God for a sweet-smelling savor. He knew by dying He'd please the Father. I used to work hard to get good grades because I knew 2 things were going to happen. When I went home and showed my mama the report card, she was going to smile, and Daddy was going to open his wallet. I knew that would make my mom and Daddy happy. If I come home with good grades, I could make them smile. I could make them proud of me. So that's why I did what I did. I pushed hard to make good grades because I knew it'd put a smile on my mom and Daddy's face, and they'd be proud of me. And you know what, folks? Jesus knew that it would please His Father, and it would put a delight in His heart that someone paid the sin debt for mankind. And His pleasure was seeing God happy. Pleasing the Father in heaven was incentive enough for Him. Isaiah 53:10 says, "Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise Him. He hath put Him to grief when thou shalt make His soul an offering for sin. For He shall see His seed and shall prolong His days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in His hand. And He shall see the travail of His soul and shall be satisfied. By His knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities." What a precious fact, knowing that shedding His blood brutally in such a brutal death, but the end result of that brutality and that wickedness was souls saved. Who'd ever thought such a tragedy could turn into such a blessing? But He knew it would please the Lord, and He was willing to suffer those consequences to make the Father in heaven happy. Today, we've got to have that same mindset, that we'll do what the Lord says, even though the world may think we're wrecking our life, making a ruin of it, making a mess of it, and people may not understand why we're doing what we're doing, but we've got to trust God and believe Him. So today, listen, He delighted in the pleasure of the Father. Let you and I make the Father happy, and it'll be our strength for today and our hope for tomorrow.